You know, last night I was watching Donald Trump getting interviewed by, I guess, Sean Hannity, and I was just thinking, that dude is a trip. You know, what I was thinking about is that he really acts like a front runner, you know, because he has that type of personality and force of once he gets ahead of the pack, he's the favorite. I mean, he's like the Patriots, you know. He's going to hit it home. He believes he's going to win. He's Belichick, you know. And whether or not you like that or not, I think you got to look at it and realize we've never seen anything like that in the presidential office. I think that, at least in my modern times, you know, and, you know, we're used to presidential figures being kind of subdued or in the background. This guy's like coming gun-ho, guns blazing. And when you think about it, even during the election, I was thinking about, they were saying, oh, he's an underdog. And I myself did not see him winning. I was going, there's no way he's going to beat the establishment or whatever. They want Hillary in. Hillary has, quote unquote, all these supporters, right? Look at all these marches that are going on out there. And yet really, you know, they underestimated the dude because he's like a hard worker. He gets dug in. And even when he was an underdog, I think they just misplayed it. And now people are like just, you know, they're not comfortable with it. You know, I think people are threatened by it. And when I looked at these two candidates in the beginning, I was thinking, man, I can't vote for either one of them. You know, but at least what I see that Trump's getting in there is that, you know, if you're working for him and you're in that cabinet or you're in a position like one of these congressmen or these senators or probably even world leaders, he's going to like hold you accountable. You know, he's going to put the heat on it. And I think in a sense that that's kind of like what our culture and society has manifested. We've drawn this through. And, you know, years ago I wrote this story called The Father Principle. And it was really interesting because I had to explore these different metaphors and these concepts of my human father, the father in religious metaphors, and, you know, the examples of father. And really, Trump is a strong father kind of figure. He doesn't necessarily want everybody's applause. He doesn't necessarily need everybody's approval. He's not like, you know, in a lot of quarters. And he just doesn't really, that doesn't faze him. He kind of goes through. So I think there's an element there, like, that kind of relates to, like, a certain energy of the Father Spirit that, you know, in a way it's not that approachable. And I think it does. It riles people up and they think, oh, we got to rein this dude in or we got to do what we got to do. And you know, so I step back from it and I just say, man, you know, this is a load. This is a big download for people. And then, you know, I can't help but notice that, you know, he likes to validate himself a lot, you know, when he's talking about the accomplishments that his office or the presidency is doing. You know, a lot of times he goes back into, I did this, or, you know, or I met with that man, or I helped this particular, you know, thing come in, and he takes credit for himself. And I was like watching, I was going, you know, I can see where people say that he's narcissistic in a sense, and maybe that's going to get transformed, but, you know, he's used to like being who he is. And, you know, I think that the quote unquote, you know, the marches and the cause that are going out there, and really Hillary was not a good candidate for those millions of so-called people that just don't like Trump to get behind, because they got behind her and she wasn't really a good horse to bet on. You know, I think her time came, and I'm thinking like now they got to really be thinking about, and I'm sure they are, about the next election. You know, you need to get your shit together if you want to see this brother be replaced by somebody else. And I don't really know what the whole divine plan is, because I try and look at, there are higher forces at work. There are really reasons why, you know, things occur that bring about change and discomfort, and, you know, people feel threatened, and that's just the nature and the cycles of life, you know. And I pray over a lot of things. I pray for, you know, harmony. I pray for the right pattern of really change to occur, and I don't know that from my level of human consciousness. So, you know, but I try and support, you know, those people that are in that positions that are trying to get things done. And I think that that's why, you know, Trump is really, he's polarizing. and a lot of cats like them, and people, and you see that women going through changes. I think that, you know, the things that they really want, they feel threatened about, like abortion, you know, that is going to impact them. They're up in arms, you know, and it's like the lines are drawn. So, you know, it kind of comes back to this American Indian, you know, perspective that I meditate on a lot sometimes. And it says, you know, a man, and of course we could say a woman, or I'll say in my case, a man sees what he does, sees what he sees and understands depending upon where he sits in the medicine wheel. And, you know, if you're feeling like, you know, you're a victim, or you're feeling like your rights aren't being taken care of, and then if another place you're in a different position on the medicine wheel and you feel empowered, or it's your time to be a winner, and there's another time to be a loser. There's a time to be in the limelight. There's a time to step back. There's a time to surrender to the will of God, or the unknown forces that are at work. Maybe darkness has its reign in its period. So we are rotating through a lot of these cycles and positions of perception and of experience on our culture, on our society, and I think really in the planetary realm, including, obviously, divine forces or hidden mysterious forces that are going on. It's not just one dude. It's not just that he's the president and he's all, you know, the one person that's going to be implementing all this stuff or all powerful. That's not the case. And at the same time, you know, he does have a mantle, or he has a position, and he got the karma to be in that position. And we're going to have to kind of figure out these different stations that we are going through collectively. That's why I'm big on trying to, in a sense, find bridges. I pray for it, build bridges. I try and see opportunities that I have to listen to people, especially people that, you know, really aren't like have the same view as I have. But there has to be an openness. If people just want to like pound away at each other and not be able to kind of surrender to you know, another person's position or understanding, we can have strong viewpoints and still hold those, but not have to hammer down people. That's a bigger story how it's all going to unfold. So I just think, you know, Donald Trump's a trip. He's here to stay for right now. He's acting like a shot caller, and you know, one thing that I see, that he's a hard worker. And you know, if you want to like be able to like, how's the word, you know, be transformed, find a way to find your own place during these times, I think we all got to look at the mirror and figure out where we sit, you know, and what we want to contribute. And that's going to be a part of the whole overall result for our culture, our nation, this planet. Okay, this is Ron, Brother Ron, Sir Ron, on my little humble YouTube channel with just a few subscribers saying, okay, thank you and God bless.